Monday morning, Daily Bible Time, Dominic Steele. And hey, look, all last week we were looking together at writing a resume for Jesus. We saw Jesus, the Christ. Jesus, the one through whom all creation came to be. Jesus, the firstborn. Jesus, the image of the invisible God. Jesus, the one in whom all God's fullness dwells. Jesus, the head of the church. Jesus, the firstborn from among the dead. Jesus, the one who reconciles all things to himself by his blood shed on the cross. Now, how is one to react when you see a resume like that? This is a resume like no other. What should you do? I mean, what would happen if you're one of those body, mind and spirit exhibitions that have at Darling Harbour in Sydney, and you saw somebody, you'd been trying to get to God through doing yoga or through Muhammad or Buddha or some other means, and then you see a resume like this one for Jesus Christ. You've got to acknowledge those other paths to the divine as wrong. And you've got to come to be reconciled to God by the means that God has provided through Jesus Christ. How would you react to that news, to that information? You could say, oh, that's a pretty intolerant thing to say, Dominic. No, it's not. That's not intolerant. It's just not being a relativist. What is it to be tolerant? To be tolerant is to disagree respectfully. To be tolerant is to encourage and allow each other to express different views, however different they might be, but at the same time continuing to politely be friends, but not pretending that we're both right when we're not both right. Relativism is us pretending we're all right when in fact we hold mutually exclusive positions. So first thing you should do when you see a resume as great and mighty and powerful as the resume for Jesus is give up on relativism. Be tolerant. Do continue to have polite, respectful, care for each other discussions, but don't call relativism tolerance. Call relativism what it is, a profound intellectual mistake. Second point of application to seeing the extraordinary resume of Jesus. Well, it's got to start with wanting to make peace with God, to say, God, I recognize Jesus as the supreme. God, I'm so grateful that his blood was shed to reconcile me to you. God, I want to be at peace with you. Help me to recognize Jesus as my personal Lord. Now, what if you're already there? What if you're already at that position? What if you've already trusted Jesus as your Lord? Then sentence 23 of Colossians 1 is the verse for you. Paul writes, if you continue in your faith, established and firm, not moved from the hope held out in the gospel, this gospel that you heard that's been proclaimed to every creature under heaven, and of which I, Paul, have become a servant. What is the application for you? Continue